One of the ththings that I think that came out of this offseason, or at least going into this offseason, was this notion that Aaron Judge was going to be, I want to say more involved. I don't want him to be like Aaron Rodgers and, bringing his boys over to the team and things like that. But it felt like Aaron's opinion needed to be heard. How much has that been the case this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think especially once Aaron, he's certainly earned a level of respect, obviously across the game, but certainly within our organization. So I think once he signed long-term and became the captain, I think along with that, becomes, allowed for even more of a, we do value what he thinks and what he says, as we do with all our players, but certainly him and Garrett are guys that, we want to hear what they have to say. And when they have input, especially as we're, trying to put things together, and you want to get as much good information as you can from your different sources anytime you're making a decision. So I think they've earned a level of respect and certainly a valued opinion within our organization.
With him, where do things stand defensively going into this season? With Soto, with Verdugo, is he most of the time center fielder? I know you said the other day he may play some left. How do you see the breakdown being for Aaron Judge in terms of where he plays in the outfield?
I see him playing a lot of center field to start. And that, assuming we have good health, and obviously we brought Trent Grisham in, who's an elite defensive center fielder as well, who is going to get playing time. But I do think Aaron, and he's excited and preparing to play a lot of center field. And then as the season unfolds and this pops in, all of a sudden those plans can change a little bit. But with that center field, I'll use the DH with him too, whether it's, in a perfect world where you're healthy once or twice a week, that gets Grisham in the lineup a little bit. That gets, Giancarlo a day off here if he's going well. And so right now he is preparing to get ready to play center field. And, I can slide him over to right, obviously, at any time. And you could see even some left field in there. But I think initially the bulk, I see him playing in center field.
Am I assuming right that if Judge is playing left, that means Soto will exclusively be a right fielder, and that's a part of why Judge would move to left, that you wouldn't want to bounce Soto back to left field?
Yeah, I'm just not sure. Again, you make all these plans, and then all of a sudden one guy's missing here at the start, and another guy's missing at some point in the season. So I'm just going to kind of feel it out. We'll see. I don't want to move a ton of guys around all the time, but on the days Grisham's in center field, does it make the most sense? Let's say Verdugo has a day to make most sense to move Soto over there or move Judge in the left. Those are kind of things we'll get a feel for. I've had those conversations with Aaron to kind of prepare him for, and he's ready for anything. But that'll be something that kind of declares itself as spring training unfolds.
We're talking to Aaron Boone. There's a lot of Yankee fans that are done with Giancarlo. They're done with the guy. They want him gone. They think he stinks. He's never healthy. And what I've tried to say, and I don't even know if you're going to buy into this, but I ask you, I brought it to Tiki's attention. I said, Giancarlo actually wasn't that bad last year against left-handed pitching. And if you treat him maybe differently than what he was 4 years ago, maybe you can maximize it. Maybe if he's the right-handed platoon against lefties, and we stop thinking of him as the guy from 2017, the year before he got here, he can be productive. Have you given that thought about Stanton, of just treating him like a platoon player and mostly facing left-handed pitching?
Not yet. He and us have gone into the off season looking at it as there's certain things he knows he's got to do. I think just body composition wise, being an older player that's not older, in his 30s now, but that's had some of the lower body, soft tissue things that have come up. I think understanding that playing at a lighter weight is something that's going to really serve him well. I think it's foolish to count him out. Just knowing the competitor, knowing the drive, knowing what I know he's doing this winter to be ready for this year, to make sure last year doesn't happen. I would not put it past him at all that he goes out and has an awesome year, and that's against righties and lefties.
Yeah.
But you always, as the season unfolds, you see where you're at, and you make adjustments as you go. But I still think he's got a big year in him.
Tell you what's scaring me, having to face Juan Soto and Aaron Judge back-to-back. Are you committed to Soto 2, Judge 3, or could you go back and forth with that during spring training?
Yeah, no, I'm not committed. I expect him to be 2-3, and whether
right.
I don't know which one in front of the other yet. Maybe a lot of that depends on how the leadoff spot shakes out. Like, is it just DJ? Is our leadoff guy, and he's rolling and he's doing his thing. I love the way he finished the year, the last 2 months of the season, where he was getting on base a ton. So it could be him, or is it more of a rotate that leadoff spot, play the hot hand in that leadoff spot, and then. Because, this is the first year in a while, too, we're going to have, like, really, really potentially good balance on our lineup with left or right. So
yeah.
I'll want to, kind of balance out the lineup. So a lot depends on who's sitting in that leadoff spot as to how I hit 2 and 3.
Does it matter, and maybe this is middle of January talking, and guys like me getting stuck on Baseball Reference, but does it matter that Juan Soto, because I would agree, like, I'd hit Juan Soto second. Now, I'm certainly never managing a baseball team, but my first reaction would be, and I've said it on the air, I'd hit Soto second.
Right.
Damn, man, he's got such a great eye. You got Judge protecting him. It seems perfect. And then I got stuck in a vortex on Baseball Reference where basically Juan Soto's not that good batting second. Do you look into that? Does that matter? That you see numbers like that? Is that a factor at all?
No. Well, I know in the past he has always had a preference for hitting third. Mm-hmm. I know he's open to doing either here, second or third. So especially when you're talking about that level of player, that level of hitter, I do want him to be comfortable in the lineup. So that does factor in. But I don't. For example, if he hits second and he hits second 140 times. I think that Baseball Reference page will change a lot, because I think whether he hits second or third, if he does it a lot, he's going to bang.